Right now, an Oregon girl is missing and law enforcement are asking for help. What they're asking you to watch out for.
And temperatures are in the 70s and 80s. How long we're going to stay underneath these warm temperatures in the full forecast.
And later, the race for governor in Wisconsin continues to grow as another candidate throws her hat into the ring. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Susan Simon, filling in this week for the vacationing Sarah Carlson. And we begin in Oregon, where police there are asking for help finding a missing 17-year-old girl.
Cadence Lee was last seen Friday in the village of Oregon. Authorities believe she may be traveling with an older man. Lee, described as 5'2", wearing black yoga pants, a long-sleeve gray shirt that has a headquarters logo on it. The man, described to be in his 30s or 40s, with black hair, a mustache, and a sleeve tattoo on one of his arms. According to law enforcement, he drives a dark green Chevrolet SUV. Police believe Cadence's most recent possible sighting was Sunday about 4:30 p.m. at the Goodwill store located at East Springs Drive in Madison. Anyone with information about where she might be is asked to call the Oregon Police Department. The number right there on your screen, area code 608-835-3111.
To an update now on an Amber Alert case in Portage County. The biological mother of a 6-year-old child who went missing last week is now in police custody. 31-year-old Chelsea Lehman is facing charges related to the disappearance of Ruby Lehman last week. Last week, Ruby was reported missing from her grandmother's home in Ullman. The family told investigators Ruby's uncle, Jordan Coyle, had taken her. On Saturday, searchers found Ruby and Coyle in a forest near Ullman. Coyle was arrested. Ruby was not hurt. Chelsea Lehman is scheduled to be in court tomorrow, and a court date for Coyle will be set once the investigation is complete.
Madison police are investigating after someone showed up at a UW Health clinic with a gunshot wound. That happened Friday afternoon, and according to police, the victim and suspects arranged a meeting near East Main Street. And during that meeting, an altercation broke out and a teen was shot. The suspects remain at large. Anyone with information is asked to call Madison police or Madison area Crime Stoppers.
A 68-year-old woman is in custody tonight after Madison police found 7 Great Danes stuffed inside a van in what they say were deplorable conditions. Officers responded to a welfare check for dogs in distress on the city's near west side, just off Whitney Way, close to UW Research Park. Shortly before 4 p.m. on Saturday, police found 7 Great Danes inside a van. 2 of the dogs were dead at the scene. 4 others were taken to an emergency veterinary clinic, and 3 others had to be euthanized. A 5th dog was initially put into another person's custody, but had to be taken to the vet when it collapsed. No word on that dog's condition tonight. The woman was tentatively charged with mistreatment of animals, causing death and mistreatment of animals. Well, some folks saw the sun today. Another very warm day to start the work week. Others were a little bit more cloudy. Meteorologist Blaze Keller is here with the first warn forecast. Blaze?
That's right. Further to the west, we were a little bit more cloudy. More into central and eastern parts of southern Wisconsin, we were seeing more sunshine. Most of the rain activity has wrapped up for the evening. Maybe a stray shower into extreme western parts of Crawford, Grant, as well as Vernon counties. But this is going to be the same area that we could see some of that rain and cloud cover as we go into tomorrow as well. For everybody else, we're going to really continue to sit underneath these 70s through at least 9-10 o'clock tonight. Sitting underneath clear conditions, we are going to end Monday going into Tuesday, eventually settling into the upper 50s to low 60s. Further to the west, our overnight lows will hang out in the mid 60s underneath mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions. Fog is going to be really limited to the Lake Michigan shoreline as opposed to some of the mornings that we woke up this past weekend with those foggy conditions. What lies ahead for the rest of this week? A few more rain chances, and we keep with the warm temperatures. Details in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Madison Metro Transit bus drivers are no longer working without a contract. After 9 months of negotiations, a new contract between the city and the union representing Metro employees will increase pay and safety measures. It includes a 3% pay increase each year and a one-time bonus to keep up with inflation. And it also gives each employee personal protection equipment after several drivers were attacked on the job earlier this year.
This contract we penned in and we ratified some language on our internal assaults protocol committee, and we also added a couple days of paid administration leave into the contract for our employees. That unfortunately, if this ever happens again, we hope it doesn't, but if it does, we have some agreements in the contract on how we're going to take care of those employees.
Now, the contract will be introduced for the adoption at the next Common Council meeting, which is tomorrow night. Well, there's a new candidate in the race to replace retiring Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers next year. Madison State Senator Kelda Roy is announcing her candidacy today.
Our Ellie LaLiberte sat down with Senator Roy's one-on-one to talk about her campaign. Ellie?
And the race for governor is nothing new for Senator Royce. She ran against Tony Evers back in 2018, but this time she says she's in the race to stand up for Wisconsinites against the Trump administration. Now, this is the campaign video Royce released this morning. In it, she champions herself as an advocate for unions and abortion rights. Now, during our conversation, she told me her biggest priority is lifting up the middle class.
States are under attack. But at the same time, we have real opportunity here in Wisconsin to build a state where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. I'm going to do everything in my power as governor to build an economy and a Wisconsin where you and your family can thrive.
Senator Royce served in the state assembly from 2009 to 2013. She then opened a small business, and in 2021, she was elected to the state Senate. Now, this is the first time in roughly 15 years that the race for governor is open with no incumbent running. So let's take a look at who else has already announced. In the Democratic primary, we have Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, and beer vendor Ryan Sternad. Then on the other side of the ticket are Milwaukee businessman Bill Berrien and Washington County Executive Josh Showman. Now, the official primary for the gubernatorial race is scheduled for Tuesday, August 11th. That's of next year.
All right, Ellie, thank you. This afternoon, The Beacon, a local organization that helps those facing homelessness in Dane County, unveiled a brand new mural. The mural was inspired by artwork from a guest of The Beacon. The themes of the mural are growth, perseverance, and resilience. Earlier, we spoke to the organization about what they hope people will gain from the mural.
So it really embodies her message, and I think the homelessness community's message of resilience and hope and positivity and being able to rebuild from the ground up.
The Beacon is open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Well, heads up to fans of great music and food. It is the True North Music and Food Festival coming to the Duck Pond this month, scheduled for Saturday the 27th. The festival features some of Madison's best chefs, restaurants, and finest emerging local and regional music as well. Madison Magazine, a proud sponsor. Tickets can be found at truenorthfest.com and start at $15. $2 from each ticket sold will benefit Domestic Abuse Intervention Services and the Dane County Food Collective. Still to come at 6, we check in on our latest Coats for Kids tally.
Plus, our phones seem to be going off more and more these days with all different types of scams. We'll tell you how one particular scam is a growing worry for experts.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Our Coats for Kids campaign is off to a great start this week. Thank you, everybody, for your help. So far, we've collected 719 coats. And here's how you can help. We're looking for winter coats for kids, jackets, all the winter accessories. And this year, there is a special need for infant, toddler, and larger teen sizes, but adult sizes are also welcome. You can make a donation at any Madison area Clinky Cleaners from now until October 4th. We also have a barrel here in the News 3 studios. And if you're looking for other ways to help out, head to channel3000.com to find links to our Amazon wish list, the financial donation page, or if you want to volunteer to sign up.
Well, data from the Federal Trade Commission says job and employment scams are on the rise this year. In the first half of the year, more than 235,000 text message scams were reported in the country, resulting in $342 million in losses nationwide. In quarter one of this year, the FTC says there were about 29,000 reports of job or employment text scams, and it is on the rise. And with an economy where more people may be looking for a side hustle to earn extra cash or even a new job, it can be tempting to reply.
But there's always going to be this ask that you reply with personal information or financial information to pay you. What the scammer really wants is to steal your money or your identity. So just make sure you're not clicking those links and not responding to those text messages.
Now, other things to remember if you do get one of these suspicious texts, and we've all gotten them. Research the number Google it and see if other people have reported this particular number. See if the company exists and is actually hiring, and if you decide it's a scam, help others out by reporting it.
Well, if you have a consumer complaint, something that you're trying to figure out what to do for the next step, we have a great opportunity for you this week. The Madison Call for Action team is holding a telethon dedicated to just that, solving any of the issues you may be having and that you need help with. So mark your calendar. It's this Thursday from 4 to 6:30. Our Call for Action volunteers will be here in the building. They'll be taking your phone calls live so that we can take action on your behalf. And as always, you can call for Action every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The number is there on your screen, 608-270-2833, or you can submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action.
And still ahead at 6, how you can win. This sounds like a great deal. Free ice cream for a year.
Plus, the cost of beef is still what's for dinner, but why record high prices are not spoiling consumers' appetites.
And could we see the return of some rain this week? We know many of you need it. Blaze with a complete look at the forecast when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, you probably noticed your grocery bill is higher lately, especially when it comes to beef. The price of beef has shot through the roof, up almost 14% for the year as of August. Americans were paying about $5.58 a pound a year ago. Now it's up to $6.32 a pound. Economists say tariffs, drought, and higher demand than supply are all to blame. But according to an S&P Global report, despite those sky-high prices, Americans have not cut back on beef this year.
When prices of protein go up the way they have been going, especially with beef, consumers will switch to another protein. But we just haven't seen that yet with consumers. And beef still is the choice protein to go to.
Department of Agriculture projections suggest the price of beef could go even higher next year.
Well, today is your last chance to submit a flavor idea for the Chocolate Shop's Create a Flavor contest. You can enter your ideas online at chocolateshopicecream.com or visit Chocolate Shop locations in Madison. The community will vote on the top 3 submissions, and the winning flavor will be announced on October 8th. Sales from the winning flavor will support the Teen Works program. Last year's winning flavor was apple cider donut. And any ice cream is going to melt fast this week. It is still hot today. Blaze is here with the complete forecast.
And it's dinner time, so I'm hungry and I think I'll have some ice cream for dessert. Maybe I'll have to try the winning flavor. Mostly clear tonight. Rain chances I think wrap up, but if we do see any rain, not only tonight and into Tuesday, it's once again going to be further to the west. Tuesday is going to be much like today, further to the east, more sunshine, but all of us will be underneath the mid to low 80s. Now later this week, we will cool down a little bit, but our temperatures are still going to stay above average for this time of year. Here's a look at our temperatures expected for Tuesday. Low to mid 80s, a little bit more cloud cover off towards the west, mostly sunny to partly sunny, and again an isolated shower or thunderstorm can't be ruled out. As you guys are on the edge of this exiting high pressure system, further to the east we're underneath more of that influence, the sinking air, but southeasterly winds indicating that this high is moving on out of here. So by about Wednesday into Thursday of this week, we start to move that cloud cover that's been mainly off towards the west into more of central parts of Wisconsin. So Tuesday, we'll start at Future Track off at 10 in the morning, and by the afternoon, again, eyeing more of that cloud cover, partly to mostly sunny off towards the west into central and eastern parts of Wisconsin. We're going to stay, for the most part, mostly sunny. Overnight into Wednesday, starting to see that cloud cover creep back in and begin to move into more of central parts of Wisconsin. That's going to continue into Thursday as well. And then Thursday night into Friday, that's where we're going to see more of that widespread chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not anticipating anything organized. The low pressure system that was looking promising is taking more of a northerly track, and as I mentioned a couple of times with one of our latest lows, it's getting stretched apart, so it's essentially falling apart as we go into the weekend. But as it does fall apart, it's going to try to kick off as many showers that it can. We'll get some of that cloud cover into Saturday and then into Sunday as well. That's going to keep temperatures on the cooler side, but we'll still hang out in the upper 70s to low 80s. Not a washout this weekend. Take the First Warn Weather app with you. Stay with us throughout the rest of the week so you can get the latest forecast. But it does look like we will be eyeing a better chance for more widespread showers and thunderstorms as we head into the weekend, finally wrapping up by about Monday of next week when a cold front will pass on through here. But as I mentioned, temperatures still staying above average through most of the extended forecast. We're at average on Thursday, and that's going to change because that is in fantasy land of our forecast. This is going to be the most accurate. The closer you are to the day, the more accurate the forecast is. That's not a secret. The models just tend to have a little bit more fun the further out they go, like kids in a candy shop. When we look at our long-range forecasts in terms of kind of bigger picture weather phenomenon going on, it does look like that growing confidence continues to be there, that we're going to stay probably at about a 60 to 70 or 70 to 80% chance of being warmer than average as we look to end the month of September. A very stark difference from how we started off, which was cooler than average. Now, last night, peaking at about 10, 11 o'clock last night, was another beautiful light show. This was over Lake Koshkonong. Thank you, Mike, for sending us that. You can see the greens, you can see the pinks, another beautiful light show. If you have any photos, you can send them to us, either email or submit them on our website so others can see them as well. There's a look at the 10-day forecast. Rain chances this weekend, and then we dry out and remain in the 70s for next week.
All right, thank you, Blaze. Well, some young women in southeastern Wisconsin are making history at their school.
Now, sophomores Anna Greisbach and Izzy Gonzalez Rodriguez at University School over in Milwaukee are taking their skills from the soccer pitch to the football field, becoming the first girls in program history to suit up as kickers. The team's starting kicker went down with an injury during the season opener, leaving an opening at that spot.
We tried out and we thought it was really fun, and at first it was kind of a joke, and then we were like, well, what if we actually joined, because he thought that we were capable, and we just decided to take the chance.
Football's a little bit harder than most soccer balls, but I think now I'm used to it. My legs kind of used to everything.
I think they'll do just fine. Look at this. Boom. Good
well
leg
done.
strength there. Coach Summers says he didn't even have to watch them kick the ball. He just had to hear it. And when he heard the sound of their foot against that football, they were on the team. We'll be right back. Look at sports after a short break.
We are back for another week of the Wisconsin Huddle. Join us here later on tonight at Jay's Bar in Madison, where I'll be joined by Wisconsin football's kicker, Nathaniel Vakos, for week 2 of the Wisconsin Huddle. Here's a look inside some of the fun that we had in week 1, a live show that gets you to know the Badgers like never before. But before we get to that, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Wisconsin football's loss at Alabama last week. For that, here's Nash Dara.
The Badgers will be the first ones to admit that they were beat down at Alabama. They know that. They also know they can't let one loss blow up the rest of their season, like it did last year. For Wisconsin football, the only way forward is focusing on first taking care of business against Maryland on Saturday.
This is the start of the real season, and we got to make sure we move forward. We got to make sure we're ready to prepare for what this mountain and this climb of the Big Ten season is going to look like. And I think that helps us to all focus, myself included, every one of the coaches, but more importantly, the idea of it, guys, the whole purpose of what it is that we're doing is to continue this journey, this climb, and make sure no matter what, we're playing our best football at the end of the year. And that's where we've got to continue to stay focused to doing. And that means you got to get better.
Billy Edwards' status for Saturday is still unknown. But if Wisconsin's QB1 can suit up against his former team, it might just be the spark that the Badgers need. In Madison, Nash Dara, News 3 Sports.
There were, however, plenty of big wins on the sports front in our state this weekend, starting with Giannis Antetokounmpo, whose Greece national team won the bronze medal in the Euro Cup. This a huge deal, not just for Giannis, but for his home country of Greece, too. This the same Giannis who's won multiple MVPs and an NBA title with his Bucks, calling this achievement probably the greatest accomplishment in his life.
I like basketball. I don't like media. I don't like being famous. I just like basketball. But this for me, it's almost like a relief because I did it for the country. I did it for myself. I did it for my family. And finally, I did it.
And the wins just kept on coming this weekend. On Saturday, the Brewers became the first team in baseball to clinch a playoff spot. They're headed to the postseason for the 7th time in the last 8 years. And it's still not too late to get down here and join us at Jay's Bar here in Madison, where in 30 minutes, Nathaniel Vakos, Wisconsin football's kicker, will be joining me for a live taping of the Wisconsin Huddle. We'll see you all down here, but for now, at Jay's Bar, Andrew Banstra with News 3 Sports.
All right, Andrew, looking forward to the show. Thank you. And Blaze is back as we take a final check of our forecast.
Yeah, it's going to be a quiet night out there. 50s and 60s, mostly clear to partly cloudy off towards the west. We're looking at a very similar day, much like today, for Tuesday and Wednesday, with cooler temperatures and maybe a better chance for more of us to see those scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head into the weekend.
All right, Blaze, thank you. And thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next is Entertainment Tonight.
Our next newscast comes up tonight at 10. Have a good evening, everybody. Enjoy this beautiful weather. We hope to see you then. You can always find us streaming on Channel 3000+.